The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosenzel, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon, highlighting the Book of David.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosenzel, Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Coming soon, Missing 2, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a sweet psalmist, special Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms. Follow David's journey throughout the Bible as well. Check out the Sweet Psalmist by Serena on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and support and check out the Mike Wagner Show, MikeWagnerShow.com. 50 podcast platforms, over 110 countries. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, iHeart, Apple Music, and more. We're here with an amazing gentleman who is a senior editor of the Classic Toy Trains magazine of 20 plus years, and one-time LA native, now living near Milwaukee, fascinated by Lionel Trains and the creator since the beginning of time, receiving a small freight engine back a while back. He earned his PhD in American history at UNC Chapel Hill, written and more than 20 books and special interest publications about Lionel Trains, and he has a new book out, presents 100 stunning photo essays and never seen before in a compelling documentary called Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains. You get to more about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee, the amazing senior editor of Classic Toy Trains magazine, 20 plus years, and the book Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of a memorable American icon, the multi-talented Roger Carp. Roger, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for the invitation to join you, Mike. I'm really looking forward to it.
And it's great to have you on board, Roger. So you're a LA native living near Milwaukee, senior editor of Classic Toy Trains magazine in 20 plus years. You're fascinated by Lionel Trains and the creator since receiving a small steam freight as a youngster back in 56. You earned your PhD in American history at UNC Chapel Hill. You've written and edited more than 20 books and special interest publications about Lionel Trains, accessories, leaders, and the workers. You have a new book out presenting 100 stunning photo essays, never seen before, in a compelling documentary about the legendary toy maker and how they came about as an American icon. The book is called Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of American icon. Before getting on that, Roger, tell us how you first got started.
How I got started?
Yes, way back, Roger, way back.
Got my first train set as a little boy in 1956, like probably you and so many of your listeners, and was fascinated by it. And quickly, the whole family was involved, my parents, my older sister, and that was something I never forgot. And so when I started working at Classic Toy Trains and would talk to other people about their trains, they had a similar experience, that their other members of the family, maybe it was grandparents, maybe it was an older or a younger sibling, got involved. And that got me curious. And so as I looked at photographs of Lionel Trains and looked at the advertisements, I found the idea of getting the family involved was central. And that's what I've really focused on in this book.
Mm-hmm. And certainly indeed as well, too. And of course, I like to share my Lionel story that I got one in 1975, being 11 years old. And I think it was a green one. It had those metal tracks, are really wide. It had a single track there. And I think it just circled, all the way around. I cannot remember what specifically it was, but I think that was the most popular model. And I got hooked on those things too. And I think it was highlighted by my dog trying to chase it and my cat's trying to run away with it. So it's like, we built it around the Christmas tree. We built it around the family room. And the thing we did was we want to see how fast it went, how far it just went off the curb, and watching our dog chase it and our cats just run from it. So
A lot of ways to enjoy Lionel Trains. Yeah, and kids have always done that. But with families involved, they were also helped to learn some great skills, carpentry, electricity. And year after year, people would expand their Lionel empire, we might say. And that was just a big part of it. And I think that's one reason more and more families got involved and enjoyed it, as well as many celebrities.
hmm and you talk about many of the celebrities as well too, and the one I could think of with the Lionel Trains or along those lines is Rod Stewart, because in his free time when he's not recording, singing, going on tour, you see pictures of him playing with his train set. So I thought that was really cute of that. Him in his pajamas playing with a train set.
And Rod is only one of many celebrities your listeners might know, but Neil Young likes and enjoys Lionel Trains. In fact, he became a part owner of the company
Oh,
back in the
wow.
1990s. And earlier generation, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Roy Campanella, Joe DiMaggio, just some of the celebrities that enjoyed Lionel Trains and always with their families.
hmm and also maybe think of some of the models as well too. Well, there's some more popular models in certain eras as well. The only thing I think, like I said in the '70s, it was green. It was metal tracks. I think it was like had three rods. It was a middle, and I cannot remember. And maybe some of the more popular models than back then. And what's the most popular model you got right now?
Right now, it's still the Santa Fe Railroad had what they called a diesel called an F3, and that has been perpetually popular. It's just a stunning model of one of the most glamorous full-size trains ever, and people love it. And again, families might travel on the real Santa Fe and then come home and want the Lionel model.
hmm And I noticed you got one of the books as well too. Like if you look over your left shoulder, I see a Lionel Train that's in classics, and I think that's in red. So if you, for your for the viewers out there, it's the third right, and let me see if you can reach over, and well, maybe you can probably remember. It's like, was it Lionel Classic? It's a red train, and yeah, I kind of like to see that one there.
It is. It's the same kind of diesel, an F3, only this was decorated for a couple of railroads in Texas, and it was a train called the Texas Special. And again, glamorous, fast, beautiful. I don't remember. I don't think there's a picture in my book of a text of this new book of a Texas Special. But again, families were always interested in buying the Lionel Trains and enjoying their special effects. And maybe you and your listeners will remember the smoke that could come out from the smokestack.
Yes, we had that one too. And I was so fascinated. And the dog's like, "What's that? What's that?" And the cats are like, "Oh no, it's on fire." And they run.
Yeah, yeah, the little pills you'd put in the smokestack, the whistle, the horn. And now the special effects are just out of this world, using Bluetooth and smartphones to run your trains.
Oh my gosh, that is something.
Yeah, I mean, and Lionel is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year.
Wow.
It's a great American success story in business. It started small, one person who was as fascinated with electricity in around 1900 as people are today. He was sort of the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs of that time. And of course, now we think of them with computers. Back in 1900, people thought of Joshua Lionel Cowan the way they did Thomas Edison, a wizard with electricity.
Mhm. And what was his fascination with trains and everything like that? You maybe like could have been planes, could have been maybe like the first automobile, maybe a buggy or something. And what influenced him to get in something like that, especially having like a train?
He was always fascinated by the magic of electricity and started out making a little train that would go around in a circle in a store window as a display. And customers would walk by. They were interested in buying the train, not what was being put on display. Cowan responded to that and began making trains, but very quickly he was as great an entrepreneur as he was, we could say he was truly a marketing genius. And he realized that the way to sell these trains, these toys, was to reach out to adults, especially women. The mothers and grandmothers were the ones who would buy the gifts at Christmas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he created trains and promoted them as these were toys that would help boys learn how to be productive, self-reliant men. And families appreciated that. And so that's what, if you look in my book, you'll see so many photographs of families interacting, playing with Lionel Trains, whether it's ordinary families across North America or whether it is celebrities, say Roy Campanella, the baseball player, with his sons. You would see Count Basie, the great band leader, with his wife. And my favorite is a shot of Nat King Cole, the singer, with his little boy.
Oh my gosh, that is so heartwarming. When you mentioned something about having these trains teaching boys self-reliance, productivity, and everything like that. Was that like a need that really needed some building up, or was it like the original intention was, hey, maybe these guys can be employed by train companies, be like conductors, engineers, or working?
Well, locomotive engineers were true heroes to kids throughout the 20th century. And a lot of boys hope to grow up, take their Lionel trains and grow up to run real sized locomotives. But others were just learning some great basic skills. They were learning from their dads and their grandparents. And in turn, those adults were remembering what it was like to be young and playful. So it worked both ways. And Lionel played this up, and families just thought it was so important that an electric train really became a necessity.
Mm-hmm. And certainly did as well, too. And of course, there's more to Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains. We'll talk about some of the other books from Roger Carp, like The World's Greatest Toy Train Maker, Collectible Classics, and Collectible Lionel Classics, and Lionel Trains of the 1940s, where Roger Carp gets to the mint. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve Levin enjoys by Howard celebrities including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. For it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double the Suspense, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of Dave, including 30 exquisite pains and King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote, and it's the time as a shepherd where it started, and complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. 50 podcast platforms, over 110 countries. Follow us on all social media and take us with you on any mobile device. Follow us on the major platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also Spreaker, Apple Music, and more. And for t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Great books, merchandise, and more. and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing senior editor of Classic Toy Trains magazine, 20 years, Roger Carp, here on the Mike Wagner Show with Lights, Camera, and Lionel Trains. And before I get to some of your books and continue with Lights, Camera, and Lionel Trains, you lived in LA for quite some time, and you're raised there. Tell us about your journey going from LA to Milwaukee.
Well, I finished high school in Los Angeles in the late 60s, which was a wonderful time to grow up in Southern California. But I wanted to explore different parts of the country. So I ended up in college and graduate school in the wonderful state of North Carolina. And then job took me to Milwaukee, my first real experience with cold weather and snow. But I've really come to love Milwaukee. It just has a fantastic people, great food, wonderful music, and lots of trains, both full size and, as I discovered working at Model Railroader and Classic Toy Trains magazines, a lot of great model trains. And so from that, I took my interest in American history and applied it to toy trains, because toys are much more than just playthings for kids. They reflect the values, the beliefs, the goals of a society, what people want their kids to become. And that was so true with Lionel Trains. And then once I started collecting photographs, I applied this, and I found that I'd look at families and you'd watch their hands, you'd watch the interaction of their eyes as they were touching these trains, they were looking at each other. I've got maybe some, like the picture on the cover of my book shows a little boy with an enormous smile as he runs his train. And the first photo essay shows a dad and his little boy and the love they feel and how that Lionel Train is channeling that. I think it just comes out, which is why I've said my book is the perfect Father's Day gift. Father's Day is coming up. This is the chance to get this book and open conversations with members of your family and start talking about what toys have meant to everyone in there, where they're electric trains, and just open up conversations, build the love, build the respect between the generations. I think that's so important, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this. You traveled from Los Angeles going to UNC Chapel Hill to Milwaukee. Now, did you go by train by chance?
Good question. I did remember taking long ago a train between North Carolina and New York City to visit a relative. It was a great journey. And since then, I have traveled on trains in Europe and the United States. And we have wonderful service, the Hiawatha service between Milwaukee and Chicago. So I never miss a chance to make that 90-minute journey.
Mm-hmm. And certainly it's well worth a journey as well. And you got Amtrak that goes like from coast to coast, New York to Los Angeles, and also a feature where it just takes you through 50 states. And I'm trying to remember the name of the route because we considered taking it one time. And I think that's probably like, I'm just trying to think, how trains, manage to bond families, not just like the toys, but traveling as well, too.
There was a golden age of American passenger trains that coincided with what we consider the golden age of Lionel Trains, probably from the mid-30s into the mid-60s. The trains were glamorous, they were streamlined, they were beautiful, fast to travel on. And Lionel emulated this, and they came out with just so many classic models and ingenious accessories, freight loaders, stations, signals, a lot of animation. And this captivated families, and boys and girls would go through the Lionel catalog and decide what they were going to ask Santa Claus or maybe mom and dad to bring them. And so every year their railroad was growing and families were involved. I got a great picture in my book of a family that's doing exactly that in a home not that far from here where I live in Milwaukee, in one of the suburbs called Whitefish Bay. And it epitomizes the fun, the planning, the productive work that a brother and a sister were doing with their dad and mom. It's just it's a memorable photograph.
Now, do you have the book with you and we'd like to see it?
I do indeed. It's right here. Let me grab it.
Okay, great. All right. So yeah, that's something we like to see as well too. So don't be afraid to show it.
So
And
this is the cover. I hope you can see it, and it shows this little boy. I think it's just the perfect image to put on the cover because his smile is just ear to ear. He's so thrilled.
I could tell. I could tell. Now, where was that one photograph you were talking about early as well too? And maybe you can show that to us here.
Okay. Okay. This is one of my favorites of a dad and a little boy. And you can just see the boy is so proud to have gotten this train. He got it a little bit before Christmas, maybe to pose for the photograph. But you can tell the dad is eager to play with it too. Maybe the dad had dreamed of getting a train, but maybe the dad grew up during the Depression or had to serve in World War II and postpone those dreams. Now he has a little boy. He can make his dreams come true while getting a gift for his son that will make him seem like the greatest dad in the world.
And you can also pass them down from generation to generation. And now it's just like, back in the day, like I told you too, that, we have them on the floor, or sometimes we'll build a box, and some people will build them on tables and everything like that. Now with today's society, do they still build Lionel trains just like that? Or is it more like a more modern type and such?
Lionel, again, is celebrating its 125th anniversary. Their trains are better than ever, and they reproduce some of the classics from the pre-World War II and post-World War II era, but they're also making new models every year. Their catalog is thick. It's so much fun to go through. And where once household current was used with transformers, now you can run your train with Bluetooth, with your smartphone. And my 6-year-old grandson, he just knows exactly what to do. He picks up the phone, he runs the train without any worry or fear. And so that's where I credit Lionel, because it's carrying on that tradition of innovation, while at the same time, that heritage of bringing families together. That's why Lionel is one of the great American businesses.
Now, maybe think of all the models that you have, witnessed over the years from the beginning of time. The most popular Santa Fe. What is considered the most expensive you can get a hold of, and what is the most rare among Lionel trains?
The most expensive, the one that collectors and newcomers to the hobby all dream of getting. In the late 30s, Lionel spent more than $75,000, which I imagine is probably close to $1 million now, to build a perfect scale replica of one of the most popular and powerful steam locomotives. It was running on the New York Central. We identify it by its Lionel product number. We call it the 700E. And to acquire one of these is the gem of any collection, no matter who you are and what your preference is. I think everybody in the toy train hobby would like to have a 700E. And as far as rarity goes, the earliest Lionel models, the ones that were made probably in the 1900s, that first decade, not many of them have survived. Even fewer have survived in collectible condition, but they are around, and a lot of people would say that's what they want.
And of course, we talked about the two models as well. How much are they going for right now if somebody's willing to purchase? Like, boy, maybe 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, million. I mean, what's the price range that it's going for right now? It's like the equivalent to a Honus Wagner baseball card. It's like that thing's going up to like close to $1 million. My goodness.
Well, fortunately, toy trains have not reached those peaks. The 700E that I referred to, you can probably get one, I would say between $7,000 and $10,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But if you wanted to get one with the original boxes that it came in, then you're going to pay another 50%. That could take you into the 10 to 15,000 range. And as far as those earliest models, I would say about the same. Again, maybe $8,000 to $15,000. So we're not quite up there with a 52 Mickey Mantle baseball card, but prices continue to rise. The demand is there.
Mm-hmm. And certainly did as well too. And of course, you've been around the leaders of Lionel Trains, the workers, and everything like that. And you can talk about some of your conversations and people with Lionel, and just maybe share a story or two about some of the leaders, workers, and everything like that in the Lionel company.
Well, I was very fortunate to get started in this hobby, in the business, in the late 80s, early 1990s, which was the last time that key executives, engineers, salesmen were still alive. I would contact them and they were gracious. They would invite me to interview them. And the most important thing that I learned was a retired engineer said to me, Roger, don't think of us as a toy company, because if that's all you think of Lionel, you'll somehow minimize our importance. We thought of ourselves as an electric appliance company. We were as good as GE or Westinghouse. We made these toys, these electric trains, to last forever, to bring families joy. That's why we referred to them as an investment in happiness. And that was so enlightening to me. So that was just a key.
Mm-hmm. And certainly key indeed as well, too. And you contributed starting a publishing company called Project Roar. We'll talk more about the books, including Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains with Roger Carp. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mulsey Missing, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including theories, quiz of pangs, and King David songs. Check out their journey of The Sweet Psalmist, Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. We'll be back with the amazing Roger Carp, the author of Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey there, Dana Alexa here, American News anchor. Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Why do you read a book? You're buying a story, a thought, a message, and a good book entertains and inspires, and that's exactly what Missing by award-winning author Mian Zia does. I have his book right here, and it's based on real events with relatable characters that hook you from start to finish. I personally love this book. It's super powerful and meaningful. You can actually get it on Amazon right now.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the amazing author Roger Carp of Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of American icon here on the Mike Wagner Show. And it's part of the Project Roar publishing company. You also had some books called The World's Greatest Toy Train Maker, also collectible Lionel Classics, and also Lionel Trains of the 1940s. And, tell us about your books, but most importantly, tell us about your publishing company, how you got started.
The interviews that I did with Lionel employees, I turned into short biographical profiles. They were great. These gentlemen were great about lending me personal photographs, some of which I've used in this new book. And that became The World's Greatest Toy Train Maker, Insiders Remember Lionel. And they were so much fun. And again, they were getting their own families involved with the trains that they were making. They were so proud of what they did, whether they were designers, salesmen, and they had great stories about going on the road and just representing a company they knew was great. Project Roar Publishing was started by two good friends, a father and son, which is so appropriate for this hobby, George and John Schmid. And they wanted to give back to the hobby. They wanted to publish high quality, authoritative books about Lionel. They would be amply illustrated, well written. And I was fortunate to get to know them. And they asked me to serve as both an author in some cases and as the editor. And so I've had the privilege of editing all the books that Project Roar has put out about Lionel Trains from the post-war era. And mine, Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of an American icon, is the latest. But certainly we've got others planned about the history of Lionel. Going to the website, Project Roar, it's ROAR, projectroar.com. Your listeners can see and purchase the books that Project Roar has put out. Really, really great quality. And for anyone interested in Lionel Trains, in toy trains in general, and just seeing the impact that Lionel had, any and all of these books are essential reading.
Mm-hmm. And certainly indeed. And besides projectroar.com, where else can we find your books and how they contact you as well? And what's your website?
That's great. Thank you for asking, Mike. My books are available on Amazon, as well as through Fire Crown Media. And that's FIRECROWN.com, firecrown.com. They put out Classic Toy Trains magazine. I can be reached at ROGER, my first name, _ my last name, CARP at ATT.net. And so maybe some of your listeners have stories about their own toy trains and enjoying them with families. Maybe they have vintage photographs. Maybe they have a train they need help identifying. I would be glad to work with any of them. So I encourage folks to reach out to me. And Mike, I encourage you also, anything I can do to help you enjoy some trains again.
Sounds great. And I'm ready to get some. I have to probably dig through my attic, just buried so deep and get a cobwebs out there. So, and what's the email address again?
It's Roger, ROGER _CARP at ATT.net. My book, Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of an American icon. It's packed with more than 250 rare and enjoyable black and white and color photographs. It's available on Amazon and at projectroar.com.
We will certainly check that out. We're here with the amazing author Roger Carp of Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of American icon here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few more things, Roger, besides the things you were telling me. What else can we expect from you in 2025 and beyond?
I'm already working on a second one of these. I've got more photographs, more celebrities, more stories. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also got a book, working with someone on a book about some of the displays that Lionel created for department stores, hardware stores, appliance shops. I'm sure many of your listeners will remember that those displays may have been their introduction to Lionel Trains. So I've got that going on, and just always doing more research. But I'm really excited about doing a second volume of Lights Camera Lionel Trains and just showing more photos.
And we're certainly looking forward to as well, being on board with it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
In my career, I think those Lionel employees, they trusted me. And I'll never forget one of them, a very hard-nosed, elderly model maker. He looked at me once, we interviewed, and he said, "Roger, you know a lot about Lionel. I want to see if you can feel Lionel." And that's been my challenge, Mike, ever since. I've really wanted to feel and express my appreciation for those gentlemen that I met, and just in how Lionel Trains have shaped my life, inspired me, drawn me closer to family, and helped me make friends all across North America and overseas, and given me opportunities like this one. So I hope people will feel that in my book. It's a perfect Father's Day gift, a holiday gift. I'm just hoping everyone will enjoy it.
And we certainly do as well. We want everybody to play with the trains as well. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Get started. Find a train, get started, share it with someone, take your time, and just have fun. They were made to bring enjoyment, and they were made to help you share and have fun with friends, family, and plan for the future.
Definitely will. And we want everybody to get a Lionel Train. With the amazing author Roger Carp of Lights, Camera, Lionel Trains, a photo history of American icon here on the Mike Wagner Show. Roger, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And what's your website? How do people contact you? And what can people purchase or check out your book?
Thank you so much for the invitation, Mike. I hope to come back and talk more.
And what's the website again?
It is projectroar.com. The email is Roger_Carp, CARP, @att.net.
And we want everybody to check out and write today. Once again, Roger, a very big thanks for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And Roger, you definitely have a great future ahead.
Thank you, sir. And Mike, happy Father's Day to everyone listening, and to you as well.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey there, Dana Alexa here, American News anchor. Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Why do you read a book? You're buying a story, a thought, a message. And a good book entertains and inspires. And that's exactly what Missing by award-winning author Mian Zia does. I have his book right here. And it's based on real events with relatable characters that hook you from start to finish. I personally love this book. It's super powerful and meaningful. You can actually get it on Amazon right now.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.